Good afternoon. I'm Vince Palmieri, President and founder of Asian Pacific Community Awareness, and I'm here this afternoon with Michelle RIZZA, who is running for State Assembly District 3. Michelle, would you mind introducing yourself to our viewers, please?
Yes, I'm Michelle RIZZA. I'm a 21-year resident of Nevada, Las Vegas, and we moved here from California to escape. And I am a Army brat. My father was in the Army for 33 years. We moved around a lot. And my husband is a Marine Corps veteran. My father was in 3 wars. He was in the Normandy invasion, he was in Vietnam, and he was also in Korea.
Wow.
And I also worked for a little airline called Flying Tigers that was bought by FedEx, and we moved the troops to Desert Storm and Desert Shield in Dhahran, Saudi Arabia. And I was given the Air Force Medal of Achievement, I think it was called, of Outstanding Achievement, I think it was called, for doing those trips into Dhahran, because at the beginning of the war, no one knew how bad it was going to be. I mean, it was over pretty quickly, but we didn't know that. So anyway, I was proud to be a part of that, and proud we at Flying Tigers, primarily, our job was moving the military troops wherever they went. So wherever the military went, we went. We went to Okinawa, to Osan Air Base, to the Philippines when Clark Air Base was open, Yokota, and anywhere that the military played war games. Let's say that the U.S. Army was going to be playing war games with the Dutch Army, so we would take the troops from whatever base it was to Amsterdam and let the troops off there. And so I was really proud to be a part of that. The military passengers are outstanding, by far and away the best. You ask any flight attendant and they will tell you that the military passengers are by far and away the best.
Yes, I know. And as a veteran, let me thank you for what you have done in the veterans community. And please tell your husband I said Semper Fi.
Okay, will do. Right back at you.
We know that we have a lot of problems in here in Las Vegas, and I've been an advocate for people concentrating on the down ticket, which is state assembly, county commissioner, and city council people. As an assemblywoman, what would you do to fix some of the problems? I know we don't have time to go through all of them, but pick something that is in your heart that you want to change and tell us about it.
I think that we have to get all this lawlessness under control, whether it's on college campuses or people raiding the Apple store or Macy's department store. I think that that's unacceptable. We need to increase the penalties for that type of behavior. We can't have lawlessness, and you have anarchy and chaos, and I don't think anybody wants that. So that would be my first order of the day, would be to introduce a bill to increase the penalties for criminal activity.
Yes. Why they lowered everything is beyond me. I'm sure common sense didn't come into that decision.
That's for sure. And I came from California, and I don't want to see Nevada become California. It's not good there.
None of us do. I mean, I came from New York, and I don't want to see Nevada become New York either, or any other state that's having these problems. What about immigration, illegal immigration? I know that's a federal issue, but what can we do at the state level to maybe not to prevent, but to put some controls on illegal immigration here? Because it has to have an effect, and we know it has an effect on our school system.
Absolutely. I think that we have to have laws. Well, we do have laws, but hopefully they're enforcing them, that people who are here illegally are not allowed to work in the casinos and places like that. We need to discourage that type of behavior, hiring people that are undocumented. It's not fair to American citizens and people who have green cards.
I agree with you, and I've often wondered why we are not enforcing e-verify laws. If there is a law, I was told there is a law in the books that you can verify employees' employment to make sure that they're legal. If there isn't, would you be interested in presenting a bill to enforce E-Verify?
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's the same thing with the voter laws. We need to make sure that the people who are voting are legally entitled to vote. It's not fair to those of us who are citizens.
Exactly, and I think we heard here today that, well, Jill mentioned this in her interview about Nicole Cannizzaro not wanting to put that bill to the floor. And that's a problem, and I've heard that. And to me, these are nonpartisan issues. These are issues that are not Republican, Democrat, or Independent. These are issues, I don't know if the right word is humanitarian, but they're for the betterment of our legal system, they're for the betterment of American people and citizens.
Absolutely. I concur completely. That we have to get control of this, because if you have people that are voting illegally, then it negates our votes, that who are here legally and who are U.S. citizens. Mm-hmm. And they may not have our best interest at heart.
I know you like to negotiate. Did you read Donald Trump's book?
I didn't.
But I have it at home. If you want, I can give it to you. A lot of people don't understand. Being in politics is negotiating.
Yes.
It's knowing what you are willing to give up to get what you want in return. And sometimes that means crossing the aisle to do that. What's your opinion about that? I
think that you definitely have to cross the aisle, but I think there are ways to make people come around to your point of view. If you present things logically, and how it will affect them and their families. When we talk about the border, you've got fentanyl and sex trafficking. You don't know who that's affecting. That could be your family. That's tragic. So we need to get control of that.
And can we do that at the state level?
It's going to be difficult, but I think if you increase the penalties for committing some of these crimes, then that will negate some of it.
They say we're not a sanctuary city or a sanctuary state, but I understand that when we arrest someone here and they're illegal, we don't report it to ICE or turn them over to ICE. That has to be enforced.
Correct. I agree.
Is there any way that the state can enforce that law?
I think they can if we enact legislation that forces them to do that. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Would you be willing to write legislation for that?
Definitely. Definitely.
Great. Is there any specific thing you would like to tell our voters about you and what you're all about?
What am I all about? Oh, I have lots of different interests, but like I said, I was a flight attendant for 30 years. I also was a college instructor, part-time college professor at community colleges in LA. I grew up playing tennis. I was a ranked junior in Southern California, and I went to college the last 2 years on a tennis scholarship, and that brings me to another point, that if there had been biological men allowed to compete, none of us women we wouldn't have even made the team. Forget about it. So I think it's completely unfair to women. We fought so hard for Title IX. That's the reason I got the scholarship, was because Title IX. And now we're going to have that taken away from us by biological men. That's totally unfair.
So I know there are some states that are taking this now on themselves and forbidding males to participate in female sports. Would you?
Absolutely, without question. That would be one of my first orders of the day. I've been there, and I know that, the number 200 man on the men's tour could beat the top ladies in the world. How fair is that? It's just common sense to me. The other thing is that I want to talk about real quickly is the situation that's going on the campuses now in the United States. I think some people have lost their minds. We have to support Israel. I know it's not a state issue, but I think that anybody who protests on a college campus who is not a U.S. citizen or a legal green card holder should be sent back to their original place.
I agree with you 100%, and I think the state our state should be looking at that. I think we're lucky because I haven't heard anything about our colleges here in Nevada protesting, but I think all these other states, they need to start looking at these people, because I guarantee you a lot of these protesters are not even college students.
That's correct. That's correct. And we need to know where they came from, what their background is, and they're not obviously not pro-America, and that's a huge problem.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be here. If you don't love this country, then why are you here?
So, in closing, give our viewers a message so they can remember you.
Okay, well, I'm going to talk about the things that are most important to me: my faith, my family, my friends, and my beloved pets. I have 3 dogs and a cat, and I'm a huge animal rescue person, and that has been my lifelong passion.
Wow, fantastic. Michelle, I thank you for taking the time to sit with us this afternoon and tell us about you, and we wish you good luck.
Thank you
and
very
Godspeed, and
much.
Semper Fi again.
Thank you.